There's a new weapon in Minecraft.
Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and the suspense is finally over. Minecraft's secretive new item is the heavy core, and if you combine it with a breeze rod, you'll get the newest weapon, the Mace. This is the highest damage potential we've ever seen in Minecraft. It also has ridiculous knockback potential too, and even crazier is that if you miss with it, it might kill you. This is a very big risk-reward weapon, but it also comes to the game in an update with 9 new items, which come to the trial chambers, alongside some 4 new chambers. Also, there are some beautiful new shaders, just look at this before and after, for the Bedrock version of the game, and also this is the first time we've seen them address inventory management by name. We will have to split this video into 6 parts to properly cover exactly what's going on here today, but let me just tell you, it is a lot of fun, it is a very crazy new weapon, and you can do some very wild things with it. So all of the features you're going to see today have come out via the Bedrock preview and the Java snapshot, which are for update 1.21. This is going to be releasing for everyone later on this year. In the next few months, everyone can play around with this stuff, and so this has been planned for a while because both of these updates came out at the same time, both of these previews did, and also they coordinated it with this short video where they showed you killing a zombie, they showed it you being used for a raid, which I thought was handy, but also they showed that you could jump off a cliff to one-hit KO a zombie, and what's crazy is they actually undersold this. You can one-hit KO a zombie from literally 3 blocks, and the amount that this scales, let me just tell you, you can use this to kill a warden if you have enough blocks on you. It's absolutely wild, but I think we should just take a step back and talk about the announcement for one other reason, which is that it has a secret feature. So whenever Minecraft releases a beta and preview, they have very extensive patch notes, but in there you will not find any mention of the new hardcore game mode. That's right, it's not hardcore, it's hardcore for some reason. This is something I think is in this preview by accident, but it isn't actually accessible or usable yet. It's just showing you where it will be, and so keep that in mind. I do intend to stream hardcore as soon as it comes out. It now looks like it's going to be soon, but let's talk about everything that is in this preview, because that is a secret feature, and everything else we do know a lot more about. So first things first, we have access to 3 brand new pottery shards, so I'll put them all on one pot just so we can see what that pot looks like together. This is a pot which contains the scrape pottery shard, the gutter pottery shard, the flow pottery shard, and the brick that is just a blank slide. So we've got an axe, obviously that makes some sense. We've got a kind of breeze looking one, but also kind of like the medical logo, and then over here we've got this lovely little swirl. I honestly love all 3 of these. Where did that light come from, by the way? Oh, it's from over here. By the way, if you want to get your hands on a lot of the features from this, it's going to be the vault for lots of it, especially the other side of the mace, the heavy thing. But the other thing that you're going to be able to get are these new banner patterns. So banner patterns are incredibly interesting as a concept to me. I still feel like they just feel unnatural, but let me show you the banner pattern, which is called the flow one. So as you can see, this has a lot of similarities with the flow shard. I like this quite a lot. This lovely, it looks like a snail more than anything else to me, but you can make a snail banner now if you really want to, and you better believe that I do. But as well as making a snail banner, you could also make a Guster banner. So the Guster banner is going to look something like this. Oh, okay, so that's interesting. You can see the similarities between this and that. Again, it's definitely meant to be a breeze. I'm glad I didn't get that wrong. I was thinking like it's a breeze, but also it's kind of like a, you know, a yo-yo or something. But that is very much a breeze, and this is very much the weird, whimsical mysticality, and the axe is just a separate shard-only item. Oh, and also there are 2 brand new armor trims. People have been asking for armor trims to come to the trial chambers, and so we've got Bolt. If you, wait, let's not use diamonds essentially, let's use redstone. Bolt looks like this. I kind of like it, very square and geometric. And then we've got the flow armor, which looks like this. I think that flow is really, really cool looking when it comes to both this and that, but I don't really love it in the, when it comes to armor. However, if you want to craft more of these, I want to show you one of Minecraft's most interesting recipes. So you take 7 diamonds and surround it like this, and then, is it not a breeze rod? Is it one of these instead, maybe? It was entirely the order, internet. I'm dumb. But yeah, this is the first time we've had an armor trim that doesn't require a block to be crafted, which is very fun. It still costs 7 diamonds, which is the more expensive bit, and speaking of costing 7 diamonds, I also have the breeze rod, which I can craft into wind charges. This is a big game-changing recipe because it means that as well as dropping wind charges, which are very, very wonderful, especially so in this update, as well as getting wind charges directly, you can also get them from the breeze rod. The breeze rod is of course also handy because it can be combined with the heavy core to make a mace, and the mace is a very intriguing weapon, which is why we should now talk about the brand new weapon, the one which is capable of this. Oh yeah! One-hit KO, as well as surviving a fall of over 100 blocks. That felt magnificent. And I got a real good reward for it, so it's totally worth doing. So the Mace is a fairly simple item made up of some pretty simple behaviors that combine together in a very fascinating way. The first of these is the fact that it deals 7 damage, but that 7 damage will increase based on every block you've fallen, such that I just dealt a one-hit KO to an Enderman, that is, if I'm not mistaken, 40 damage points, with a weapon that only has 7 as a base. This is insane when you really think about it, but it gets even better than this, because you also will have noticed, if you roll back the footage a second, that I didn't take any damage from my fall. That is right, the Mace is not just an item which has insane damage potential, it also has insane saving potential, and so what I can show you right here is this llama. I'm sorry, he has no reason to die. I'm not against llamas or anything, I like them quite a lot, but if I don't want to take damage from this fall, I can just make sure that I land and attack before I land, and boom, that means no damage for me. Instead, the Mace takes it all, which is absolutely wonderful. So this is a weapon which can deal 7 damage if you attack normally, or closer to 20 damage when you're attacking from 3 blocks up, or closer to 600 damage when you're attacking from 130 blocks up, and this is a fairly linear scaling. Every extra block you add is about 4 or 5 extra damage to the tool. I haven't got the exact amount yet, it is a fascinating one to look into, but I imagine that no matter how much health your enemy has, a sufficient fall would be enough to negate it, and a sufficient fall is always possible in Minecraft because you can fly as high up as you like, so if an enemy has 10,000 health, you just have to fly up about 2,000 blocks and then hit them with a mace. Basically, near infinite damage potential, but most of the time you'll be using it just as a way to like, okay, there's an enemy over there, I'll wait till he jumps himself off somewhere high, and then we'll finish him just like that. Wow, one-hit KO, very, very lovely. I think this is most of its use, and so yeah, the other interesting things about this are the fact that obviously this has a really nice pair with the wind charge, because if you need to have some full damage, rather than placing blocks like I've done everywhere, what you could instead do is something like this. Oh lord, okay, I messed that one up entirely. But what you could instead do is take advantage of the wind charge to get a lovely no full damage fall, even if you're going down a hill, but also get massive damage increases. This is maybe even going to be a new PvP meta, because seriously, that is wild by itself. So anyway, the interesting other things about this you might also question are, how does it enchant? So my first question was like, yeah, can you enchant this thing? Sadly, the answer looks like no. There are no exclusive enchantments that will show up here. However, obviously, you can put mending and stuff on it, but could you put sharpness on there? No, you cannot. Okay, well, you can just put mending and unbreaking on there, because it does have durability. No, you can't. I assume this means that they are going to deal with the enchantments of it later, or that it is specifically a non-enchantable weapon. The Mace has so much damage that they don't want you to extend its life with mending, and instead if you want to heal these, you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, throw a couple of maces in there and combine them together, or, you know, realistically, I think you could just do this in the crafting table if they're 2 regular maces, but this is the way that you are meant to do it, and although it's a little brutal to hear about, it is how it's done. Interestingly, as you can see, you can't heal up the item using the heavy cores, that's what I would have guessed. Instead, you have to use breeze rods, so it is fairly easy to keep maintained, but I think this is Mojang making a very powerful item, and then making it not mendable, at least 50-50. It's either that, or they're going to add enchantments later, but even then I could see them not adding mending and not adding unbreaking, just to kind of counterbalance the insane power this thing comes with. Yes! It feels so good when you get it right. I love the Mace, it is a very fun weapon, and as a centerpiece for a snapshot, it does a lot of fun things, I have to say. It does a lot of fun things, I have to say, but I totally see where they were coming from with their hints of, yeah, this might kill you, because it's a weapon with high risk but high reward. If you do everything just right with it, it feels so good. However, if you don't find an enemy to hit, then that is going to be your downfall. In fact, let's prove it right now. Oh no, there's no enemy, now I'm dead. So this part of the video is just to give a quick shout out to anyone who is playing on a console. I know that is hard for Bedrock Minecraft, it is something that I felt like actively pushed away from, even though I played Minecraft console for years on this channel, but it does seem as though they are getting better at support, because in this last week, we saw them add 4K support for the Series S and X, and now they have increased increased the maximum render distance to 36, and this is actually a big difference. Here's what it looks like in case you're curious. 36 chunks of render distance is making a big difference, and I do want to give a bit of praise to Mojang here for, again, I feel like they could ignore consoles and that roughly the same number of people would play, so I love that they are updating it, at the very least on the Series S and X. By the way, those platforms are also able to enjoy the experimental technical update, although not natively, you have to do it via a realm. But one of the interesting things is they've added a new feature to the deferred technical preview, i.e. the deferred rendering, the beautiful way Minecraft's going to look, and it already looks beautiful in this image, right? However, there is a new effect called sky reflections, and this new effect will reflect the sky on surfaces depending on their roughness and other surface properties, and this is something that is crazy. Also, because they're reflections of the sky, they will not be visible in caves, indoors, or in the nether. Reflections for these scenarios and of other objects, such as the terrain and entities, will be added in future updates, and I think that although this second image is a little bit muted, you can see that in general, Minecraft's deferred rendering is getting better and better, and I love to see it. This is currently only in preview. It will not be a part of the next update or even the one after that, but it is cool to see that they're adding these cool new features to that big part of Minecraft Bedrock's deferred rendering update. Oh, and before we finish up here, I think it should be worth mentioning that they've also made a few minor changes that you'll notice being positive improvements. One of these is that shields will partially block damage dealt by Guardians and Elder Guardians, laser attack, very nice parity. The same is also going to be true for your Wolf Armor. It will partially block damage from those Guardians and Elder Guardians. This is pretty nice to see. I don't think it makes too much sense because their attacks are meant to go mostly through armor, but whatever, I'm very happy regardless. And yeah, also at the same time, they have made some changes to the vaults. Obviously the vaults are where you're going to get that new heavy core, and they've made it so that there are all of these brand new items in there, but at the same time they have removed quite a few items at the same time. So horse armor and saddles are now removed from the loot table, and you'll get more rewards which can stack together, because they specifically say the loot tables of vaults in trial chambers have been updated to address some inventory management issues, and I love to see this. Just as a last point today, before we dive into the conclusion. This is an absolutely massive Minecraft snapshot and preview, and although there are lots of things we've had to skip aside for the sake of time, I want to give my overall thoughts and say that the Mace is an absolutely insane weapon. Seriously, I think it's wild that Mojang can introduce a weapon that has literally infinite damage and still have it be balanced, and arguably not even just balanced, but balanced in a way that is good. So it's going to be one of those niche items that won't be on everyone's hotbar because it is just based on full damage, but I think that extreme PvP is going to take massive use of this. I think that a lot of people who want to have fun are going to take use of this, and I think in the same way the wind charge is going to make certain, parkour more fun, this is going to make the idea of combat much more fun. I did a tiny raid with it, and I had a seriously good time. My minor gripes about this, I feel like, again, most of them have been shoved to the side here, but just very briefly, is the fact that this video has been recorded in the Java snapshot, not because I wanted to play Java over Bedrock, but instead because it didn't release on Bedrock in time. The simultaneous release of snapshots and previews, even when they get it right, I feel like something goes a bit wrong sometimes. I'm not sure if that is a preventable issue or if it's the Microsoft store or something, but it's a bummer. Also, the weapon feels a bit cheap. I mean, it's called the Mace. It's kind of similar to the trident or the crossbow, I guess. It's not, it feels a bit weird to just be a mace in Minecraft rather than a, particular type of mace. The heavy mace even would make sense to me. But also, the way that you hold it, it is very, very chunky, as you can see over there. But when you hold it, it feels odd for it to be a 2D item. It's true for every other item in the game, so not that illogical. But yeah, it'd be cool if if they want to go for something almost like a hammer, that would be fun. They could also make it enchantable with channeling. It'd be a very minor thing you could do for it, but I think that'd be a great overlap between the trident and this. But yeah, absolutely love this on a very, very serious level. Has to be said. Also, by the way, a weirdly dumb bug is the fact that when you throw a wind charge at the path block, it just goes missing and then explodes underneath it. No idea what's happening there. But yeah, overall, I want to say, I think the Mace is a lot of fun. I do think this is going to change how a lot of people play Minecraft in a very, very good way, and I think this is a great example of early game players are going to look at it and go, ooh, I want to play Minecraft for that, and late game players are going to have a lot of fun with it, because if you imagine these are people I want to kill, let's be honest, they already are. The fact that you can do that and have him jump back to, it's beautiful. I love it a lot. But I also think it's going to be a niche item, which is good for something like this. Oh, there's still a raid going on. I guess I could kill him while we're at it. So yeah, I have to say, mobility and mobility is fun, but having mobility and a weapon that rewards you for good mobility is extra fun. And seriously, isn't that great? And I do think that the things that this prove are that the trial chamber is going through some good changes. The inventory is being seriously acknowledged as a problem, which has to be a good thing. I'm sure Mojang know, but like that means they've got some solution brewing somewhere, even if it's for 1.23 or something. They at least know that it's an issue that has to be fixed. And also, because this update raises so many questions about combat. Oh, it's called the ominous banner on Java. That's an interesting parity difference. The fact that they know, the fact that they're bringing in a major combat feature, this is the first time we've had one that is so wildly different, partially because of the hit delay, and partially because of the fact that you can offhand wind charges. This is the most, OP combo you've had in a while, but you can't use this combo on Bedrock, because obviously you can't offhand, or you can't use things from the offhand, and so hopefully that is a sign that they're going to be working on bringing new combat to Bedrock. My dream is this update, but at the very least soon too. But yeah, for now, just this update by itself, incredible. Excited to play it on stream after this video, but probably before that stream's probably already happened by now. I'm streaming with a Minecraft developer, Olraf, so I'll be asking him some questions. If you want to see an extension of this video, go check it out, or perhaps consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this every single day on the channel. It is a little bit weird to... it feels like I've done something wrong every time I throw a wind charge at a dirt path and it doesn't launch me up. But yeah, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.